So instead of drawing all the background here, I'm going to be a little lazy. I'm going to add in another layer. I'm going to make sure it's my farthest back background. I'm going to call this layer Beach. Okay, and for now I'm going to turn off my water layer, my boat layer, and my other water layer. I'm going to lock those at the same time too, just to make sure I don't accidentally do anything to them. Okay, so I have a blank canvas again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that picture I showed you earlier of the beach and I'm going to add it to the background. So File and Import. Let me save this as boat06 first. It's not critical if you lose count on this, as long as you kind of save every time you make a major change. I'm going to go File and Import to Stage. This is my stage right here. So import means bring in a file from another program. Now, I'm going to take a look here. Here's my file. It's called Hatteras. And I'm going to select that. And I'm going to open that. Now, this is a bitmap. And you can see right here, under Properties, it says bitmap. So this is a photograph, different from the file that we have. So for example, I cannot go to this lighthouse and try and click and drag the edges, because this is all made up of pixels. If you want to find out the difference between a bitmap and a vector, I've covered that in class, but also you can take a look on YouTube. I want to center this bitmap and make it exactly the same size as my frame. So first of all, I'm going to set its x and y coordinate to 0 and 0. So the xy coordinate is actually the upper left hand corner. You'd think that 0, 0 would be down here, but in computers it's always up here. And I want to make my widths 550 and my height is 400. Now, the other thing I want to do is this. This is a bitmap. Bitmaps take up a lot of memory. They slow your file down. And what you really should be doing is keeping a file consistent. So since this is a vector graphic file, we'd prefer to make this a vector graphic. I'm going to do a modify and bitmap. Actually, I have to select it first. Border around it is dotted, so it's selected. Modify, bitmap, trace bitmap. And this is something, I just select the default. Or you can play around with this if you like. These are all the settings for turning it into a vector. So here it is as a vector. And it's kind of neat. It starts looking like a paint by numbers painting. And you can see what it does is we lose the detail, but we just get these kind of abstract figures. These are all fills now. What it did is it traced out similar areas of color and turned them into fills. So, for example, if I think that if I want to make, let's say I want to make this guy have the same color shirt as this guy, what I can do is I can use my eyedropper tool and I can select this color and then I can use my paint bucket to give him the same color shirt. Can't do that with the bitmap though. Right? There. Now your hat's red too. So that's a nice little way of importing graphics if you want to use them as a background, turn them into a vector.